All right, good morning. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a great day. I want to talk about this story that I was just reading. Actually, it's an account, it's not a story. Um, it's not fiction, it's nonfiction. Anyways, the account of Jesus, this is from Mark chapter 9, and it says it says they came to Capernaum, and when he was in the house, he asked them, saying, "What is it you were disputing amongst yourselves on the road?" Now, this is, um, they're walking from point A to point B and they're arguing about something. Well, it turns out, it says they kept silent on the road. They disputed amongst themselves who would be the greatest. Now, this just shows you um, what these guys were all about up until the point where God really changed their lives on the day of Pentecost. Up until that point, they were kind of knuckleheads. I mean, if you look at this, well, first of all, I mean, I probably have argued about this with somebody in my life, but not in reality. Not like, oh, I'm going to be the greatest or whatever. I don't understand it, especially when you look at where these guys came from, right? I mean, three fishermen out there arguing it, tax collector, or you know what I mean? Um, but the real interesting thing is Jesus asks them about it, and nobody has the nerve to answer because they know that they're being knuckleheads. They know that what they're doing is really a foolish thing. There's no way that you're going to be able to have a conversation with the Lord and explain to him why you were arguing with other guys that you're better than them or you're going to be greater than them. And I mean, this is a summary. They probably were arguing certain points and it was just summarized in this: who's going to be the greatest. They weren't probably exactly arguing that point, but whatever. The Lord asked the question, nobody has the nerve to answer it. They don't have the guts. They don't have they don't just come out and ask him, "Hey, Lord, who's going to be the greatest here?" But it's clear they didn't understand it either. They didn't understand what this is all about. Even what they're talking about, what they're arguing about is not the same. Like, they're looking at it completely different. It's not the same as what the Lord was looking at. And it says, he sat down, he called the 12, and he said to them, so the 12 got caught up. Like, these guys were the guys that were arguing about it. These are the top disciples, right? And he says this: if anyone desires to be first, he shall be last of all and servant of all. The question is, who wants that? The Lord's basically saying what you are talking about as greatness is completely different. If you want to be first, you shall be last of all and servant of all. I do see this. I see how people often will be last. They'll wait in line. They'll be the last person in line. They give everyone else preference. It's a good habit to be in. Servant of all, though, that one's a little bit tougher. So he's basically, the Lord's like, resetting their brain here, and he's saying, this is greatness, not that, this. We always distort these things. We do. We mess them up because of so much. We still carry with us so much of the way the world looks at everything. We mess up how we view greatness, even. You know, you see guys that accomplish all of these things. You know, they have big business accomplishments, and the world's like, man, this guy is an amazing leader. And then you find out, no, he's not. He's a horrible person, horrible to be around, horrible to work for. Besides saying that, the Lord lays it on thick. It says this, verse 36, he took a little child and he set him in the midst of them. And when he had taken him in his arms, he said to them, whoever receives one of these little children in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives not me, but him who sent me. And these guys are probably like, what did that even mean? I wonder. I would have, as a matter of fact, you know, I hope that we get to hear the conversation that happened later on that night when the disciples are whispering to each other, what do you think he meant? What are we supposed to do? Pick up children? He wants us to pick up children? And, you know, it's interesting, but all of these things are not, I mean, it's not necessarily an easy thing to just serve others all the time. It's not always easy to pick up children, minister to kids. There's a lot of things like this in life we don't really like doing. I mean, some people are really prone to this, but we're not going to do it day and night and day. And the Lord just saying, look, you have to think about these things differently. Very similar to what he told the prophet Samuel. Like you're looking at things from the outward appearance, and it's all wrong. What you see is not what I see. I look at this and I say, you know what? It just shows you how different the Lord is than everything else, than the world, than people in this world. And when you see how different the Lord is compared to all of this other nonsense, personally, it makes me want the Lord even more. It makes me want to be like the Lord even more. Because honestly, I've seen enough of the way that people treat others in this world. I've seen enough of the way that this world just casts people away that they don't want, or throws people aside that they don't have time to take care of, or whatever. I've seen all of this. I see it all of the time around me. The world is just like a cesspool of selfishness and self-gratification and self-fulfillment. It's really gross. And now we have the complete opposite. We have the Lord Jesus Christ himself. We have a man that is God. We have a man that is walking the walk and talking the talk. And he's basically saying, hey, look, arguing about this is a waste of time, right? Live it. Do it. Be a servant. Be last. Be a servant. Receive one of these little ones in my name. It's really interesting. It's totally different. It is. I look at it and say, you know what? It's awesome, though. Could it be better than this? It's awesome that the Lord has a heart for people. It's awesome that he has things orchestrated and set up in a way that we can actually honor him and serve him in these ways. So, anyways, I was reading this. I was thinking about this. You know what? This is a good way to walk into our weekend, I think. It's a good way to remind myself. Hopefully, it is a reminder to you too. That's at a good time. We need to live like this. We need to live this way. We need to have this mindset where we are serving others, where we're glorifying God in the way that we treat other people, that we are, that we value what the Lord values, and rather than just doing our own thing and living for ourselves, which is totally empty. So I hope that blesses you today. Hope you have a great weekend. Remember, today's Friday, so at 11 a.m. Pacific time is the roundup. You're probably not going to want to miss that. I know I won't miss it because I'll be there. And then, as usual, if this ministered to you, take a minute, leave me a comment. May the Lord richly bless you. And I'll see you on Monday. God bless you.